everybody! Today we're going to chat about picky eaters and how to handle it. Also, be sure to stay tuned for a couple bonus tips that we did with our daughter, and this 4-year-old now eats everything. Hello, my name is Marcy and welcome to Establishing Your Balance. Typically, picky eating doesn't start in babies. They haven't developed preferences and are really used to just formulas and milk. However, some textures could be off-putting because of only having liquids. Picky eating starts more as a child grows and experiences new things. It isn't always just about picky eating. They could just be mimicking a friend or a family member. It could be a preference. It could just be it is new and they need to experience it a few times or in different ways. So what are some foods that picky eaters typically don't like? There are a few types of food that picky eaters typically don't like. These include green vegetables, some citrus fruits, and anything with a strong taste or smell. In addition, many picky eaters will refuse to try new foods, which can make it difficult for them to get the nutrients they need. So try putting these foods through a food processor to make it into smaller bites, almost back to a puree to help them adapt to the flavor without the bigger pieces of texture. How long does the no phase last with the pickiest eater? From my experience, both of my nieces were somewhat picky eaters in their early childhood. One niece just wanted to eat snacks. One niece would eat anything only if you told her that it was chicken. Then our daughter comes along, who does eat everything. And the day she ate my raw oysters instead of her fish tacos, that was more frustrating than feeding my niece just snacks. We'll get more into our daughter's eating habits in a bit, so stay tuned. But back to the timeline of my nieces. Both of them, now adults, do enjoy a wide palette of food, and they appreciate the variety we offered them as they were growing up. It didn't change overnight, but over time it did. If this is starting to resonate with you, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Techniques on how to deal with a picky eater. There are many strategies to deal with a picky eater. Even at my age, if you gave me the choice of macaroni and cheese versus broccoli, of course I would choose macaroni and cheese. It's not that I'm picky. I actually really like broccoli. But it's my preference for the given choice. One of the most important roles parents play in their child's life is shaping their food habits for their future. A recent study found that not only do parents' food preferences influence their children, but also how they introduce new foods to them. The study found that parents who showed disgust or disinterest had children who also tended to refuse new foods. Start small with portion sizes when introducing new foods. A great way to introduce small sizes of new foods is with an infant or toddler feeder. They come in either silicone or a net. As they gnaw on the feeder, they are exposed to tiny pieces of food to get used to the textures and the flavors. Also, make meals fun, not a struggle. It can be hard to get kids to eat their vegetables, but with a bit of creativity, it is possible. Presentation is key when making food. Try cutting vegetables into fun shapes with cookie cutters, or adding dips like ranch to broccoli and carrots. One of our nieces would have to put ketchup on everything, but hey, she would eventually eat the vegetables. Cook the same meals for all family members and eat together at the table. As your child grows older, cooking the same meals for all family members can be a challenge, but it's important to set an example and provide your child with habits for the future. The schedule of meals and snacks should be the same for all family members. Yes, some days this is difficult with all the things we get ourselves involved with. Yet setting that time aside to have just one meal as a family is imperative to development. So should I be concerned if my child is a picky eater? No, you don't need to worry if your child is a picky eater. However, it's important to be aware of the signs that could indicate a more serious problem. If your child is healthy and energetic, they are probably eating enough. Children graze constantly rather than consuming 3 meals per day like adults. A child's growth, weight, and percentile all indicate how healthy they are. The doctor will give you a growth chart to help determine if your child is following or going over a certain percentile. Our daughter is about to turn 4 and still eats about 99% of what we eat. Here's a few tips that we directly did with her that we believe to her not becoming picky. When I made her pureed food, I left very, very small mushy lumps. This helped her to establish textures, but there wasn't a risk of choking. By 11 months, she had some teeth. Whatever we were eating for dinner, we put into a food processor or blender, and she literally ate what we were eating. When going out to a restaurant, we didn't order off the kids' menu. The adult portions are so big anyhow, we would each feed her from what we ordered. When grocery shopping or at the farmer's market, she picked out the vegetables and fruits and helped in prepping the meals. Even at 1 year old, she was drying the produce after we washed it. She is now almost 4 years old, and the only time she will say no is if she hears someone say it is spicy. Then she doesn't want it after she's already ate half of it. I hope these tips will help you with your kiddo to better improve their eating experience and provide a more pleasurable meal experience for you as a parent. For more information, come visit me at establishingyourbalance.com. And don't forget to subscribe to my newsletters to get automatic updates on new content. I hope to see you again soon.